What's up, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this video, we are looking at the Storm Arena BAKI HANMA, son of Ogre. Still haven't watched the anime, I read the manga, but you guys wanted me to review it, so I figured, what the heck, we might as well. So, it's pretty darn good, not surprisingly. This guy comes in at 30 bucks. That's just $2 more than the current Marvel Legends price, and I think that is just absolutely amazing and telling, and if people aren't starting to wake up to certain things in the industry, then I think the industry is doomed. Because this is so much better than $2 more than a Marvel Legends figure. That's just nuts. But there is some stuff to talk about for this guy, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Now, before we look at the figure, let's go ahead and take a look at my package. Good packaging, as usual. Storm does a good job. I'd like to see the window be a little bit bigger, but it's still nice, especially it's not just squared corners and his head's cut out around there. So, yeah, it looks good. I'd like to see the figure over here, though. Either way, still really, really nice packaging. Looks good. Different finishes. You have gloss for the things on the front, and that's nice. And nice photos on the back. They're doing really good work with this line. The Storm Arena line is basically just nuts at this point, and I don't even know how to review it in comparison to other things other than to say it's blowing everything away. Let's see. This guy stands, he's in stock at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way, about 14.5 centimeters to the top of his hair. There's a link in the description below if you want to get one. That's 5 and, I don't know, 5/8, something like that. Here he is up against Darwin. I assume he's supposed to be that size. I'm guessing he's not supposed to be 6 feet tall, which makes sense. So he should be a little bit smaller. And so you guys can confirm that with me if you... I didn't think to check his height like in the source material. I just thought he was shorter based on Yujiro, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, let's talk about this guy. He is freaking good. I have a schmutz mark. But other than that, actually, there's one other thing. We'll get these out of the way right away. We have the one schmutz mark right there, and then there's no wash inside that one scar on his leg. So I got some bad luck there, but just the tiniest bit of bad luck. Otherwise, he looks great. I have to say, well, let's do a question of the day. Are you guys buying this line of figures just because they're such good figures for the price, or do you have to care about the IP? Because I know this is a popular IP, but I don't know how popular it is in the West. So let me know if you guys are interested in this sort of thing, or just because it's a good figure, you're interested in it. Let me know. Alright, so yeah, let's get into it. The aesthetic on this figure is nice. It's really, really freaking good. The flat finish is wonderful. The skin tone is great. The shading is great. It's not like absolutely perfect. If you look at his abs, those 4 main abs in particular, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but there's like, the shading is in the crevices for sure, but then there's kind of just a hit of shading in the center. It's super subtle though, so it's not even like a really big deal. But yeah, there's like room for improvement. Should we darken it? Let's darken it. Let's see if that looks better. I think it looks fantastic. Love the skin tones. Love the wash they use for the scars is good. The shading is good. The pants are a nice flat finish. The hair has shading in it. Like every time Hasbro says, "Oh, we can't put paint on anything," it's like, I'm pretty sure you could. I think you probably could. The hair is sculpted and painted really well. The face is nice and clean, really well done. It matches the source material. And then the sculpt on this guy, it's really, really good. I have 2 issues, which you could easily argue. Well, one of them is definitely the source material, but... So the first issue is his chest. It's very forward and centered. It sticks out a lot, but all the way up even to the clavicle, which is a little bit weird. I think they did that for the butterfly joint. That's a super non-issue, really. But yeah, it's very narrow this way, and then it sticks out a lot. Like in a bulbous way. I know he's supposed to be bulbous, but that's why I said, like, okay, so that one probably doesn't even count, because the way they draw these guys, sometimes it's just nuts. But then the other thing, which is also from the source material, is the incredibly long lower legs and short upper legs. They do draw them that way most of the time, though this is, I think, exaggerated too much, and it's only a problem in the sense that it hurts posability, because having really long lower legs means you can't pose them the way you want, because humans aren't built that way. We don't fit. Our bodies don't work that way, so you'll see when we get to the articulation section, or maybe the photos. So that's a bit of an issue. I think, like, the sculpt is fantastic overall. I think the Digi-Action figures probably look a little bit nicer, but they're probably not nicer figures. I don't know, I don't review that scale. But I like the way they handled the sculpt a little bit better there. Still, this looks really, really nice. Like, for 30 bucks, we're picking nits here. There's nothing, like, even close to a deal breaker on this guy. It's just crazy what you're getting for 30 bucks. It's beautiful. This was $27 or $26 at the time. Just want to put that out there. And now they're up to, yeah, 26, I guess. Now they're up to 28 or whatever it is. It's just insane. So yeah, for 30 bucks, 5 out of 10. Missing paint here and there kind of sucks, or missing paint here and then having the schmutz, but that's it. It's great. All right, now for accessories, we have a whole alternate head. Also really well done, nicely sculpted hair, painted, everything's good there. Total of 6 hands, so 4 extra hands. Those are very nicely done. I love that they're made out of a soft material. That's pleasant to interchange. That's good. Then we get the display stand, which is not my cup of tea. It's way too much display stand. It's almost as much plastic as the figure. It works, and you get it, so that's awesome, but like, I'll never use the black part because I don't want black on my figure. And I don't want this giant clear contraption behind the figure. It's just too much. Simple display stands. That's the way to do it. As simple as you can make it. Like, I don't even like that these have the grid on the bottom. I want my display stands to be invisible. So that's whatever. But for the $30 price point, 9 out of 10 still. That's awesome. Alrighty, let's get into the articulation, which is going to be a deal breaker for the Storm Arena line, I think. Not really. Their articulation's pretty damn good. So we've got ball pegs throughout the neck and head, and even with that hair, he can look up nicely. He can look down pretty well. Not as nice as it could be, I guess, but it's still... The nuance posing is great with the neck and the head, and I believe at this point I am basically fully won over to having a neck joint, even if you have a double ball peg head, which works really well. I think the neck joint is nice to have. Let me know what you guys think. I know I've asked this before, but do you guys like let's say for a bare body like this, because I'm going to have that in my line whenever I get around to doing it, do you like a neck joint or just the head joint? I'm leaning towards both, but we'll see. For the shoulders, we do have a butterfly. It's not like a normal Storm joint, Storm Collectibles joint. Doesn't really go backwards too much. Up and down, not really a thing, but it does go forward. It takes a little bit of force, and we do still have this somewhat squishy chest, but it takes a little bit of force, but you can get that butterfly joint out there. Doesn't look great when you go all the way, but you can get the arm out in front of the chest surprisingly well. I think that works nicely. Again, it's not the best looking thing, but I get what they're doing, and you can kind of see the guts in there a little bit, hopefully, but it's just a big swing arm, really, that lets the butterfly pop out. So that works pretty well. And then the shoulder itself, up to horizontal, that's fine, no issues there. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's not an issue. I said that twice. I didn't sleep again. All right, bicep swivel. Oh my gosh, the shoulder rotates no problem. Bicep swivel is fine. It's nice and snug to the body, but it works, so that's good. Double jointed elbow, that's fine. You know, people complain about the Storm elbows. It's like they don't look any different than anybody else's elbows that are double jointed. Everybody's got double joints nowadays, and that's good because you get the range out of them, but you always get a slightly ugly joint, and I don't think theirs stands out. The thicker the joint, the weirder it looks, but still, I mean, it's just a reasonable way to do it, and we'll talk about that a little bit more at the knees. Nice big ball hinge for the wrist, which is what you want. You want the ball hinge to be the same size as the limb, so that works, and you get good range out of that. For the torso, we have just the ball pegs up here at the top. Or it might be singular. I think it's a singular. He leans back, not a ton, but enough. And then he leans forward pretty well. I mean, considering. It leans forward a little bit at the top too, and then side to side. Again, it's not a ton, but it's plenty. And you're going to get your rotation, of course. Now, they still have the old crunch down there, which doesn't work that well going back. There's actually a ball peg underneath the crunch, which is what's doing most of the work right now. So he does lean back nicely with that. And then leaning forward, he uses it to lean forward mostly. It's not a lot though. It still could have been achieved with just a ball peg, so I'm glad that they are scrapping this, at least for the most part going forward. I hope they scrap it all together. It's just unnecessary. It overcomplicates the figure, makes it cost more, and it doesn't really achieve much, so that's a thing. And then you get your rotation, of course, and since it's a ball peg, it can lean side to side, but not a ton. So we have his soft crotch piece. Legs go out to the side, no problem. Full splits, no nuggets. That's just fine. And then going forward, we don't get that much range until you use the drop down. And if you use the drop down, you get more range, but it does kick the leg out to the side a little bit. But you get lots and lots of range out of it, so that's pretty good. If you're okay with drop downs, you're going to be fine. If you hate them, it's still a fine use. Like, it's not bad. My biggest gripe is that it brings the hips too wide when you raise them up. So that's not great. But yeah, it's not the worst drop down I've ever seen, so that's all right. Thigh swivel is just a swivel in here. That's fine by me. Double jointed knee works nicely. You can see those crazy proportions, but that knee's not any uglier than just about anything else, except for the fact that they're doing the faceting type thing like Hasbro does, which makes it look worse. Don't do that. Just run it right in. Curve it down. Run it smooth. You don't need this right here. Honestly, it doesn't even look better on the outside. I've talked about this before. These curves that stick out to try to make it a flush sculpt, they don't make it a flush sculpt. It's not really helpful. So if that just curved in rather than out so that you didn't have this faceted area right here, it would look better bent and it would look fine straight, if not better. So that's the way to do that. I don't know why anybody doesn't. Drives me nuts. All right, well, I know why. I just said why. It's because they think it looks good, but it doesn't. Okay, so bringing the foot back, you don't get a ton, but it's okay. Bringing the foot forward, again, you don't get a ton. That's a Storm trait. I don't know why they don't like their ankles to work. Ankle rocker is good enough, but again, not a ton. But then you get the toe hinge, which is acceptable. It's still sculpted poorly. They're still putting that step in there. No pun intended. And it's a little bit far back on the foot, so it's not the best thing I've ever seen. But that said, it's like, that's really good articulation for a $30 figure. For $2 more than Marvel Legends, you're getting all the paint, all the sculpt, all the articulation, extra accessories. It's just crazy that people are still defending Hasbro. Oh, the licensing. Yeah, you mean like the same licensing everyone else pays? Oh, Disney takes too much. Then don't make the figures. Either make them the way they're supposed to be made or don't make them. That's my argument. So yeah, his articulation, 9.5 out of 10 for this price point. It's crazy. And now it's time for the final verdict. Yeah, for sure, buy it. If you're at all interested in something like this, obviously for $30, it's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, it's not great for custom work because, well, first of all, he's got the scars everywhere, but those giant lower legs suck. Oh, we didn't really talk about that. I'll do that a little bit briefly, real quick, before we do a final rating. The problem is, when you pose this guy, his upper legs are so short and his lower legs are so long that you can't get him into the poses that you're going to want to get him in without it looking really weird. He's going to look like he's on stilts. And like a crouching pose, for instance, you can't do it because the lower leg is so long. There's just limitations that don't work with unnatural anatomy. People like to talk about how I say I want things to look like comics and whatever. It's like, yes, and source material is good, so if they draw it that way, that's reasonable, but it still is problematic because humans work a certain way for a reason. If we had really long lower legs, we wouldn't be able to run properly. We wouldn't be able to bend our legs properly to do crouches or things. So it does get in the way of the action figure, practically speaking, too. And most of the time, he's not drawn this exaggerated. So I would have leaned the other way if I was Storm to make the figure more functional. But you can decide to do with that what you will. But okay, now it's time for the final rating. For $30, 9.5 out of 10. Definitely a little bit of room for improvement. Well, for $30, you know what? 9.8 out of 10. A little bit of room for improvement. QC spot, like right there, not a big deal, but it's a great figure. It's nuts that this is $30, and this is almost $30. It's just crazy. So yeah, I don't have to say anything else. That's good. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'm done. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that, and in the meantime, keep collecting.